What is up, everybody? Wicked Sir Nate here from Wicked Gaming. I know you're actually hearing my actual voice, not some weird robotic voiceover. Unfortunately, my mic quality is not going to be very good for this video. I have not been finished setting up my room, so we're just going to have to roll with it. As many of you know, today is a very special day. We hit 800 subscribers not too long ago, and I promised that once I did, I would do a Q&A video, as a lot of people have been asking me questions over the years, questions about the Legion, about myself, about the games I play, and about the stuff I do. Well, ye ask and ye shall receive. So over the past couple days, past week, I have had you guys post more questions. Not only that, I've been going back to my videos and posts and all that stuff and looking for more questions. I could not answer all of them, but I managed to gather a pretty decent amount that hopefully will kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. What I mean is these questions are going to answer multiple. Hopefully the answers for some of these questions are going to answer other questions as well. In the background, I'm going to be playing just a couple gameplay things, and also a showcase later in the video of some new stuff that has yet to be released but is ready to release with the new update that's coming out. So just something for you guys to get excited while I go through this. So let's get into this with the first question. What made you interested in space engineers? So I got interested in space engineers thanks to a friend. We were working together one day, and he came over and said, hey, you got to check out this game. At the time, I really liked sandbox games. I really liked Minecraft, stuff like that. And I was looking for something new to play. Mind you, this is back when Space Engineers, well, was not up to par with what it is today. This was actually the age of laser pointers. For those of you that know that back in the day, the turrets in the game, the two that were there, had lasers on them, and they would just point in the direction. So if you had a ship with a bunch of lasers on it, it looked like an effing rave show in space. It's kind of annoying, so that's how I got into this game. When did you start playing Space Engineers? I started playing Space Engineers in 2014. When will you post more new ships? I actually have quite a few ships and creations ready to go. They're complete, everything's done. However, I don't want to post them until this new update, the AI update, because from what I've been able to see, there's quite a few new blocks and features that are coming into that game that I want to see if maybe, just maybe, they would be very well suited for the builds. So let's just hope for that. Will there be a new Legion series? Maybe. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that were involved in the old Legion series have, well, lives. They have other things to do. They have other things they need to take care of, so they haven't had a lot of time to do anything. Hopefully, in the future, they will be able to come back around, summertime, when people are off and doing stuff, and we can get some more Legion content out there. What is your favorite ship so far? The Athanasis. It has to be one of my favorite ships. I managed to build it in a perfect balance of realism. It's not too big, not too small, has a decent amount of firepower, easily modifiable in terms of just ripping off the vanilla stuff and putting on modded stuff. It has a decent amount of features that allows it to be a good survival ship. It's not ridiculous to the point where it has a lot of PCU, but it has just enough PCU where you can't build a whole lot of them in a server, and that's my favorite ship. What's your favorite ship by another creator? Ooh, that one is a difficult one, but I think it would have to be the Stormwalker from Black Armor. I just love the way that thing turned out. Even now with the newer blocks and the newer features coming out, that thing still stood the test of time. How did you come up with the Legion? I actually came up with the Legion as a military all the way back in middle school, where I would just draw these soldiers walking around, and eventually they kind of turned into this whole lore behind them and bunch of other stuff. And eventually, when I came into the Space Engineers realm, that's when I really started to play with the idea that the Legion was actually a faction and stuff. So that's where they came from. Can we get a Surviving Atromax Part 2? No. So, Surviving Atromax is done. The characters have, well, as you guys saw in the last episode, the two of the characters are dead, and the rest of the characters have reunited with the Legion and all that stuff. So, maybe there will be an episode of some kind, something involving the old characters, but we'll have to see. How long did it take to make each episode? So for the Atromax series, it takes about 2 to 3 days. 1 day for recording voices, gameplay, stuff like that. A second day for making the cutscenes and all that stuff that goes with that. And then it would be the third day is where it's all cut together and posted. So about 3 to 4 days. Would you be willing to work with another YouTuber? Possibly. Yes, I would actually like to work with another YouTuber. I really haven't worked with another YouTuber, although my creations have been featured in other YouTubers' videos. Mainly, Captain Jack has used quite a few of my creations to a very cool effect, I might add. In his last series, he featured probably one of my most popular gunships, the Vampire, along with a couple structures that I've posted in the past. So, yeah, I would love to work with another YouTuber. That wouldn't be too bad. What other games do you play? Besides Space Engineers, I actually play Fallout 4 a lot. I actually play all the Fallout games a lot more than Space Engineers. I also play War Thunder and World of Warships. And I guess that's just about it. I don't actually play a whole lot of games. I mostly just like to be on the computer and fiddle fart around with different things like mods and stuff. But yeah, if I'm not playing Space Engineers or working, I'm usually playing Fallout or War Thunder. Is Space Engineers your favorite game? Believe it or not, no. It is in the top 5. My favorite game of all time is the Fallout games. All of them. I don't really have one in particular. Each one kind of hits a little point of nostalgia with me, so I hold those true to my heart. I am a major Fallout fan. Why is Astrian so hard to play on? Okay, this is a complaint that I've had a lot of people push towards me about the difficulty of my modded planet Astrian, which is, for those of you that don't know, Astrian is my first actual mod. It's not a blueprint, it's a mod. It's a planet. It is the home world of the Legion. And a lot of people have been pestering me as to why it's so difficult to do a playthrough on Astrian. It's being that the storms there are frequent, the oxygen level is low, there are ridiculous amounts of ion storms and stuff like that, and the planet seems pretty hell-bent on making your survival on that planet as difficult as possible, and that is for a reason. This is supposed to be an endgame planet. As with all the other planets, there are hazards and stuff like that, but there is a balance, not to mention the fact that not every resource is on every planet. With Astrian, every resource is on the planet, including uranium, platinum, all of those. Everything can be found on that planet, and, surprisingly enough, in great abundance if you know where and what to look for. However, I cannot just have people start on that planet, as that would be way too easy, so I have to make it kind of a trade-off. Not only that, but the environment of Astrian's surface kind of almost forces you to live underground, which is what the Legion do. In the lore of the Legion, they don't live on the surface. Nothing is on the surface except for factories and military facilities. Everything else, in terms of the population and the living space, is underground. So the ion storms, the dust storms, the radiation, which is basically a storm that sucks out all the oxygen because I can't put radiation in the game, forces you to live underground. So that's why it's so difficult to play. Can you tone down the difficulty of Astrian? No. Will the Atchmax server ever come back? Maybe. So I had to shut down the Atchmax server because nobody was playing on it. We would get maybe 1 or 2, 3 people play about a month, and unfortunately I need people playing on this in order to justify paying the amount of money to have this server up. And it was a lot of money because it was a very high-end server, top specs, everything, so that you can have as many people playing with doing as much stuff as you wanted and all that stuff, and there would be no lag, no crashes, no anything like that. So maybe if people start showing an interest in the server coming back, or if maybe one of the admins for our servers decide to come up with a cool idea that we can use, then yes, the HMAX server will come back. What made you create the Domator? Boredom, actually. I toyed around with trying to make balanced ships, so to speak. That's kind of what the Legion is. All the ships are balanced. Not too many weapons, but not too few. They can hold their own, but they're not invincible. And I was bored and possibly drinking one night, and I decided to make an overpowered ship. One of the main mods that all Legion ships use is the ARX mod, the weapon mod from ARX. And I decided what would happen if I were to create a Legion ship and put every single weapon in that mod pack on the ship. And it turned into the Domator, and it actually turned out very well, as for some reason the Domator is in the top 5 most popular Legion ships in the game. So, which is funny because I think the population of people that could actually physically spawn that thing into their game is very low, because I have quite a beefy rig and I still do not have enough power to spawn that thing and play around with it as much as I want to. What is your least favorite ship? Ooh. Yeah, as a creator, I'm supposed to say I love all my ships, but I would have to say the Hammer. It is the first ship that I posted on to Steam, and I do not like that thing. I don't like the thumbnail. I don't like the design of it. I don't like how many mods it used. I certainly don't like the layout, and I really hate the fact that if you were to spawn it in without any of the mods, it just looks like a heap of trash. And hopefully one day I will go about redesigning it and reposting it. But for now, that thing will stay exactly where it is. What happened to Legion versus RWI? Okay, so this is something that has been talked about not only to me, but apparently Jack got bugged about this quite a few times. That video was simply a proof of concept. It was just something for me to toy around with and send to Jack and say, hey, do you think this would be something we could do? We did talk about it, but unfortunately the Legion and the RWI are a little bit at odds with exactly what they're both trying to accomplish, so I'm not sure they'd be very friendly to each other. Not to mention that unfortunately I am in the United States and Jack is overseas in Europe, and it's kind of hard to get a good schedule on that stuff. So maybe in the future there will be a Legion versus RWI thing, but for now, me, myself, and Jack included believe that it possibly not something that we can work on at the moment, especially with as many good projects as these guys going on. What does your rig look like? It looks like this. Yeah, big time flex. If you could add one feature to the game, what would it be? Surprisingly, actually, it looks like they're already doing it. For the longest time, I wanted AI. Good AI, not dumb AI, like the drones that we have floating around in vanilla right now. And it looks like they're going to be adding that. Hopefully, it is what I'm expecting and what I want. But in terms of things that I doubt that they ever will add, I would have to say I want nukes. You can balance them however you want, but I just want one missile or bomb or something that can really wreak havoc on stuff like that. So, yeah. If you could remove one feature, what would it be? jump drives. I'm not going to lie, and I'm probably going to get lit up for this, but I would remove jump drives. They are balanced in the game, and I do like that, but for the most part, I believe that it would just be simpler to have warp drives. Maybe, I guess, make it a little bit more difficult to traverse from planet to planet, so you'd have to float between 2 planets and then maybe set up a warp gate or something like that. I would like that much better, because as it stands right now, in order to get from one planet to another, you need multiple jumps or multiple jump drives, and in a server, that is very, very, very difficult to do. So if I had to remove something, that would be it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this. If you got more questions, I actually have a Q&A posted in the Discord. It's its own channel. You can go ahead and go in there, ask questions. If I don't answer them, then one of the admins definitely will, because they know just about as much as I do. And I will try to answer questions on that. And as I've said in the last part of this video, as you've been seeing, there's quite a few stuff coming. There's quite a few ships, quite a few vehicles, quite a few interesting things. I know quite a few of you are about to light up the comments section with that space elevator and questions about the new VTOL that are coming. The space elevator is not ready, as you can see. It's not ready, nor is the space station that is supposed to go above it. They're both not ready, but believe me, they are nearing completion. I build ships in modules and then piece them together. So that'd be good. The VTOL is almost done. Just a few more scripting problems, and all the other vehicles that you've seen are simply just waiting for the new update, which hopefully comes soon. I am so praying that we get to see that new update soon. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. If you guys like this kind of stuff where I just sit here and I talk about stuff, go ahead, leave it down in the comments section. Tell me what you think. Go ahead and hit the Discord and come join me every once in a while when I play Space Engineers on Discord. And without further ado, I'll see you guys later.